Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I was looking out the window the other day and I seen a gritter out, so that means the Cozzy and the Mark II Escorts are away for a bit, well, at least a couple of the weeks or so, especially with all that salt on the road. I don't mind driving them in the rain, but not into taking them out when there's a bit of salt on the road, especially after all the work I've just done to the Cozzy. So I thought I'd give you a little review of my daily, well, should we say the family car. We own a 2010 Range Rover Vogue. It's a 4.4 V8 tdv8, shall we say, the diesel one, the twin turbo diesel one, with the 8-speed box. We had an X5 beforehand, and that did us pretty well. We had that about 2 years or so, but I've always been a Landrover man. I've had a couple of Range Rover Sports in the past and a couple of Defenders, etc. So I wanted another Range Rover. Like, when we were looking to buy a Range Rover as the family car, shall we say, I actually wanted the 5-litre supercharged model, but after reading a few stories on the net, I was scared because they have certain cam chain issues, and if they do, it's like a new engine or an extreme amount of labour to get the cam chain changed, etc. So I bottled it and I bought the 4.4 diesel V8. This is about 310 odd brake and about 500 newton meters of torque, and that's before you get it remapped or what. At the moment I'm averaging about 25 miles per gallon around town, and I've had it up to about 32 on a run when we went to Centre Parks with the family. Full car, all the holiday clothes and all that. So that's not really too bad for a 4.4, I say. Especially when you got to remember it's a two-ton truck, you know what I mean? This is a 2010 model, so you get the LED side lights, well, daytime running lights, shall we say, and the LED rear lights on the back. We've owned this car about 6 months or so, and we've never had any problems with it. Every time when I buy a new car, even if I buy from a garage, I always do oil and filters. Always do oil and filters, even if the garage says they've done oil and filters. Through past experience, for the price of £100 odd for the oil and a couple of filters, I always do oil and filters on a car. So first thing I did when I first bought this was did oil and filters on it and put it in a local specialist to get the stamp in the book. So we've had this 6 months and I've never had any problems with it, touch wood. Everyone goes on about with Land Rovers that they have bad reliability problems, but I think what it's all down to is people who buy Land Rovers, Range Rovers, etc. can't afford the maintenance costs of them. They're a big car, well, 2 ton or so, aren't they? So you're going to have arms, bushes, discs and pads, tyres, etc. and people try to run them on a shoestring. I'd always use a local specialist just to keep the stamps up in the book, but I like to do most of the mechanical work myself. This has only done, well, it only done 40 odd thousand miles when we first bought it, so it doesn't really need a gearbox flush or anything like that. Well, or should we say the gearbox oil and filter doing anything around 80 odd thousand miles. I'd say that's what I'd normally do. When I first bought my X5, we bought that at about 80 odd thousand miles, so that was the first thing I did, was a service and gearbox, oils and filters done. Anyone out there looking for a Range Rover, I would say service history is a must. I wouldn't be too worried about the mileage of the car's done, but definitely service history. If it's done anything over 90,000 miles, you want to look at getting a gearbox service and the transfer box oils replaced. This is the L322 model, as they say. These suffer from rust on the bottom of the boot lid, and rust on the sills behind the plastics, and rust on the rear arches. When you're test driving, make sure you take it on a good run, get it up to temperature, and have a good shake of the steering wheel. Make sure you're not hearing any knocks or bangs or clunks. These are prone for arms, anti-roll bar links, bushes on the rear. It's a heavy truck, so things are going to wear, especially if you're buying something with a bit of mileage. So have a look at that, make sure you get it checked. If you're buying it from a garage, what I'd say is have a look and see if there's any Land Rover specialists local to that garage, and see if they will allow you to take the Range Rovers there. For when you get stuck at Asda and you want to do a bit of off-roading. Access mode. Off-road mode for Asda. For anyone who's not owned or drove a Range Rover, all I can say is there's a reason why the Queen owns one. When you're driving one, they're on airbags all round, so it is like sitting on your couch while driving a car. You don't drive along, you waft along in a Range Rover. Favourite things I like about the Range Rover is the split tailgate. Oh. Alright guys, that's enough for me today. Give the video a like, and please subscribe if you're not already. See you next time guys, take it easy.